Hello and welcome to the show that rummages through famous people's houses to find items to sell at auction and raise money for a good cause. Today's celebrity was born in Birmingham. She's a star of stage and screen, and she was one of the biggest stars of pop in the 1980s. Still don't know who she is? Well, here's a clue. It's a mystery. Today I'm in Worcestershire, about 40 miles away from where our star today grew up, and I'm about to go and visit musician and film actress Toyah Willcox. Coming up on today's Cash in the Celebrity Attic, Toyah's gorgeous house fills me with admiration.
Come in.
Oh, another beautiful room.
It's fabulous, isn't it?
But James is something of a liability. You've broken it, James.
No, come on. Guilty as charged.
I've never seen that.
How will Toyah fare when she takes to the podium at auction?
So, shall we start the bidding at £5? Anyone interested?
Find out when today's celebrity collectibles go under the hammer. Starting out as an actress, Toyah's career takes in everything from pop stardom to television presenting. Today she's with her good friend John, who's helping her rummage around her stunning home to find collectibles to sell for her favourite charity. The Cash in the Attic team are here to lend a hand. James, good to see you. Excited about meeting Toyah?
I'm very excited, Alice. I just cannot wait to get inside there.
Really? Are you a fan of Toyah in Quadrophenia as a mod or as a punk in Jubilee?
I was definitely a punk.
Really?
But we want to keep that one quiet.
Punk and mod together, that's
I
very
know.
good.
Well, listen, think about all the treasures we're going to find.
I know, it's an amazing house, isn't it? It's not quite what you expect, but it looks wonderful.
It does, doesn't it? Let's go in.
Ah, here you are, Toyah.
Hello, hi. This is my friend John.
John, lovely to
Hi,
meet
Peter.
you. You're helping out today.
Try my best.
Fantastic. What a great house you've got here. It's
It's
incredible.
a good place to live, I must say.
And a wonderful kitchen. I bet you spend most of your time here.
I do. It's the warmest room in the house.
So you're very kindly raising money for charity today. Which charity have you chosen?
MacMillan Cancer Support. John's mum was looked after them when she was ill with cancer.
Now, have you bought some stuff to raise money as well?
Yeah, I bought a few knickknacks for you to look at today.
Oh, that's great. So you know each other for a long time?
Yeah, at least 10 years. I mean,
96, I
yeah,
think.
John
So,
travels the world with me, you see.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're inseparable.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Siamese twins.
Ah, well, we'll have to pick out your story as we go along. But how much are we trying to raise today?
Well, I don't know, because I think, you know, what's precious to you isn't always precious on the market. But we do know that as much as, or as little as, £128 a day could pay for a MacMillan nurse for the day. So, you know, I think we're thinking of a few hundred quid.
Yeah, a few £100 to go a long
I mean,
way.
600 will be great. That's a nurse for a week.
Right. So around £600 or more if we can find it.
Yes, please.
Good. Well, should we go and find James? Because I know he's got some stuff he'd like to value. Ever since 2001, this gorgeous Georgian house has been the home to Toyah and her husband of 21 years, the rock guitarist Robert Fripp. They're enthusiastic collectors of antiques, and the house has a colourful history, having been a vicarage and a doctor's surgery in its time. Our expert, James Rylance, has already got to work. In nearly 30 years of dealing with antiques, his specialisms include statuary, works of art and clocks. So our first item will be right up his street. You've broken it, James.
No, come on. Guilty as
I've
charged.
never seen that.
I've just taken the back off. Where did it come from?
You know, I haven't got a clue where it came from. A lot of stuff in this house just appeared out of boxes when we moved here.
Oh, okay. Well, I can tell you where it came from originally, because on the back of it, it's got Mr. Jenkins' Servants' Registry. So obviously that was in a room in the house called the Servants' Registry, wherever that was.
So do you think Mr. Jenkins was a servant who owned it, or the owner of the house making sure a servant wasn't going to walk away
I
with it?
think that he was probably the butler or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
The butler's clock.
The butler's clock. But funny enough, although it's here, I don't think it's English. I actually think that it's probably American.
Oh, really?
And in the second half of the 19th century, they had a very vibrant clock industry going, and they exported all over the world. So something like this, it's made of walnut. It's around about sort of 1860, 1870 in date. It's suffered a little bit, as you can see on the winding holes in the front here. the way the paint's been chipped a bit. And then it's got a little hammer that strikes on this gong at the back here. Do you see? But the thing that really does it for me is this little door here. That's your volume switch. So, so if you wanted to have it a bit louder, you just open the door. It's far more interesting than twiddling a volume knob, isn't
fabulous.
it?
You've made me really like it now.
No, you're not allowed to sell it.
I tell you what I really like about it is its plainness.
Yes.
It's quite unusual.
Absolutely, it cuts. It's just classic, it's timeless, whatever. It's not worth a huge amount of money because I think it probably needs a bit of work doing to it. But I would think probably around about £10 or £15, something like that. It's not a lot, really,
it's
is
not
it?
a
For
lot,
something
but
that age. But I think a lot of these Victorian things, they're just not as fashionable as they were. You know, we all...
Well, I mean, that's fine. It can go in the sale.
Well, this house is so full of treasure, we need to press on. James, don't slack.
Not so we keep me hard at it.
Yeah, and don't break anything else, OK?
Oh.
The fact that it's come from America might just interest the buyer a little bit. I hope it will reach about £50, even £60, but who knows, if people are generous on the day, it might do better.
On that note, the rummage gets into full swing and, provided James doesn't break anything along the way, it feels like we're in for a good day with so many collectibles to find. I'm glad to find this blue and yellow Royal Doulton figurine, Isabel. Modelled by Timothy Potts in 1997, she's valued between £20 and £40. Toyah's found some Chinese-style Delftware, but she's not sure it holds any value due to damage, and that's even before our expert has touched them.
James? Got 2 vases.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
Well, I just love that they're rough up there. I don't know if someone's kind of hacked off a rim or something.
I think what's happened is that they've had a bit of damage, so they've been ground down a bit.
OK.
But we call this is the double gourd shape.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is. It's very
satisfying.
Yeah, very satisfying. They're very tactile as well.
I find that quite contemporary. I think that's a very contemporary shape.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I suspect what's going to happen to these is that someone's actually going to turn them into table lamps.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Because once you put the fitting on, you won't then see the damage at the top. Conservatively, I think we'd probably say £30 to £50 for the pair.
That's not too bad, is it?
No. I mean, for something sort of kicking. I mean, we've got the odd chip and things like that. But I just think they're decoration, and as you say, it's a timeless shape, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. I really like it. In fact, you've got 2 of them. People do like their symmetry, don't they?
They do. We're all simple souls at heart, I think.
Talk for yourself.
True. Anyway, let's find more of the same.
Come on then, follow
goodies.
me. I really do enjoy having pots in the house, and the thought that someone might get pleasure out of them turning them into lamps is a really nice feeling. As for how much they're going to get and my expectations on the day, I probably will be lucky if I get £20 to £30. But let's see if we can bully people into being more generous.
I think it's safe to leave James to continue rummaging for a while, as long as John keeps an eye on him, while Toyah and I have a chat in her very splendid drawing room.
Come in.
Oh, another beautiful room.
It's fabulous, isn't it?
Gosh, it's so grand, Toyah. So you've been here 7 years? 6
Yes,
years?
7 years, but I grew up in this area. I'm a Birmingham girl, but every weekend I came to this area to just play in the orchards and stuff. So.
No, you've got the biggest house in the top of the hill. All this furniture, is that your speciality or is it more your husband's?
This is interesting. I found this on the street, having been discarded by Trafalgar House in Salisbury.
You're kidding me.
I got a van and went and collected it. But it's magnificent. It's the original material.
They left this out on the street.
I think they must have just refurbished and thought no one would want this, and I saw it and thought, oh, I'm in love. But this table is really interesting. I used to live in Reddish House, owned by Cecil Beaton.
Oh, the photographer.
The photographer, the royal photographer. And when I moved in, I found in the cellar this tabletop covered in paint pots. Then I realised it was his coffee table.
No way.
But Mick Jagger, Greta Garbo, Princess Margaret have all dined off this table.
Oh, my word. That's fantastic. That's such a great sentence.
I know.
I don't hear that every day, the words Mick Jagger and Greta Garbo in one sentence. Amazing. But let's talk about your career, because I was a great fan, and lots of people must be huge fans, and for so many generations, because I was telling my niece was a great fan of you from your TV...
Teletubbies and, yeah, Aunt Boomerang.
And I loved you in Jubilee, and, you know, people have loved you for so
That's going back a bit.
So many different facets of your life. But you were an actress first, is that right?
I was an actress first. I worked first with Katharine Hepburn. She chose me to star alongside her in a film called The Corn is Green. I then went on to do films like Quadrophenia with Phil Daniels, the Who movie. And 5 years into life as an actress, where I'd already been at the National Theatre and made 10 movies, I suddenly had a hit single, and the singing took off and rudely interrupted my acting career.
Now, you chose MacMillan, which is also obviously a cancer charity.
Absolutely. My friend John, his dear, wonderful mother passed away from cancer, and MacMillan looked after her so well. And because of the amounts we'll probably raise, I'm hoping we will get at least £600 in. MacMillan can do something with that money, and they are fabulous, fabulous people. So that's who I want to raise the money for.
Well, it's a great charity, and we need to sell some things to raise money for. None of them here, unfortunately. We can't sell the coffee table, but perhaps go and search in another room, see what James is doing. While we were talking, John's been busy unpacking a set of glamorous Italian figurines for expert valuation.
James?
Whoa, John, you've got quite a collection there. Where did they come from?
Well, these were all in my nightclub in Stoke-on-Trent. I had a diner bar in there at one time, and it had sort of a 20 sort of theme.
OK, I like them. Oh, it's Santini. Ah, interesting. Wow, you've got a lot.
Yeah, I bought some more. There's about 12 I've bought down, but this is just a selection.
You've got 12 in all?
Yeah.
Wonderful. He was actually, he was an interesting guy. Amilore Santini, born just outside Florence. And funny enough, he was responsible for perfecting a technique of sculpting or casting in resin and alabaster and marble dust. And that's actually what these are, rather than being sort of porcelain. But that's not what's really important. What's important is they are just so stylish.
Absolute detail is fantastic.
Each hand-painted, lots of different colours, lots of different details. You know, they are typical of the Art Deco period, which they're sort of copying with that wonderful elongated female form. And, of course, who can forget Marilyn?
Yeah, I mean, the Marilyn one is the odd one out from the rest of them. All the rest are like the Art Deco-y.
Yes. I think they're going to have appeal. I would think for 12... I would think we've probably got to be looking at sort of 150, 250 pounds, something like that. But just fantastic, fantastic decoration. I think what we'll do is we'll leave the auctioneers to divide them into the lots that they think would sell best and capitalise on them. But it's never enough, John. We need more things.
More things, yeah.
Here we go.
These 1930s Art Deco figurines were Santini's trademark, but he went on to make ceramics of popular celebrities such as Marilyn Monroe before he died in 1975.
£150 for the 12. It would be nice to get £150 each for them. They are really rare. I mean, you don't see them about, so hopefully we'll get a lot more than that on the day.
Despite some good items so far, our target of £600 still seems a long way off. Toyah extends her search to the garden and, hidden away among some plant pots, she finds this pair of coach lamps valued between £10 and £15. There are so many lovely rooms to explore in this wonderful house with interesting artefacts at every turn. Several paintings by Toyah's artist friend PJ Crook adorn the walls on the staircase. Crook is famous for creating 3D pictures that incorporate the frame into the painting.
Oh my goodness me!
Whip crack away!
I'm doing a double take.
I know.
I didn't realise you had a twin sister.
Yeah, a bit bigger than me, though, isn't she?
Coming soon, Calamity Jane!
I know. I took it on the road for a year and then into the West End for about 6 months.
Fantastic. Now, I remember going to see you.
Did you really?
Yeah, with my kids. I was exhausted watching you. So how you managed all that sort of dashing around.
In the summer.
Yeah.
In buckskin. Ha!
Whoa,
I hope you enjoyed it.
No, I did. I'm glad I was sitting down there, rather you than me.
We were having Toyah on doing a gig at the club, and so we borrowed it because we geamed it around Calamity that was coming up, and I just forgot to take it back.
Oh, well, listen, it's now going to a good cause,
Well,
so we
yeah,
can
so they
definitely
won't
forgive
mind
you.
now, will
We
they?
can forgive you. Well, what's the best way to market this? I think that it's the sort of thing we want to get up on the web,
Yeah.
on your fan site.
Yeah, I've got quite a few fan sites.
Good, because that's immediate, so it means that lots of people will see it. And also, Toyah, if you can sign it as well at the auction, maybe?
Well, not only will I sign it, don't you think I should get up on the box and auction it?
Brilliant. What's it worth? I haven't got a clue.
Well, I like to think that if I'm up there and I'm really plucking at the heartstrings, that we could get at least 50 quid for it.
Well, I think we need to go from calamity to cash. So let's find something else. Maybe a bit more conventional this time.
Shall we leave the twin here?
Yeah, I think she's getting on by herself.
The Calamity Jane cutout's going to be really interesting because only a real fan is going to want that. There might be a theatre collector out there who'll go for it, but I will be surprised if it gets more than 50 quid.
After that showstopper, James moves on to the dining room and finds this set of 6 gold-rimmed liqueur glasses, valued between £10 and £15. Leaving James to come up with more goodies like this, I catch up with Toyah and John in the kitchen. There the two of you are.
Hi.
You have to have a break now from all this hard rummaging. I wanted to ask about your friendship and how long because you teased me with your first meeting and then we had to get busy rummaging.
It was a long time ago now.
When was it?
96.
Nice.
96, August 96.
We just bonded immediately. We have so much in common, and when I'm performing, I'm quite a nervous performer, and John's probably the only person that can come near me before I go on stage.
So what's she like kind of backstage?
I just keep out the way. And I keep everybody else out the way. That's the secret, just keep everybody out the way.
Yeah, funny enough, if a situation is a bit tricky, say that the security are a bit heavy-handed at a concert venue, just send John in and even the toughest men go running. So, I mean, he's just fantastic to have around because you're a great icebreaker, aren't you?
Right, so you've been through thick and thin together and you lost your mother, sadly, to cancer. Was Toyah a great support to you at that time?
Toyah was actually in Calamity Jane at the time in the West End, and we were literally texting each other during the last hours. And it was
I remember it, 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. I had a matinee and I was in pieces because, you know when the time comes, and not an easy thing to go through.
We knew it was coming, but obviously when it comes, it's one of those times.
So MacMillan were a really great support to you?
Absolutely fantastic, absolutely fantastic. They were really brilliant, so much dignity. They were really, really good.
Well, it is a wonderful charity, so perhaps we should keep on working. Find some more treasure to tell.
Come on then.
With the good cause ever present in our minds, we step up a gear in our bid to find at least £600 worth of items that Toyah and John can send to auction. John finds this silver-plated bronze goblet, valued between £10 and £15. And Toyah comes up with this sewing machine made by Frister and Rossmann, Germany's largest sewing machine manufacturer in the 1800s, and now worth between £10 and £15. In the sitting room, something rather special has caught James's eye.
Toyah?
Hi there. Hi.
Hi, I've just been admiring your standard lamp.
It's lovely, isn't it?
It's fantastic. Where did it come from?
Well, I've been married for 21 years and we got this in Putney in an antique shop in London.
Oh, OK. Oh, I love it. I mean, it's probably made early parts of the 20th century, perhaps after the First World War, when Oriental decoration was very, very popular. A lot of people were having sort of bedroom suites and other bits of furniture done like this in the Oriental style. It's not quite like the original, which would have been built up on layer upon layer of lacquer, which took ages, was very labour-intensive, using shellac, and then polished to a very, very high finish. This would have been produced probably actually in England, and it sort of cheats slightly.
Okay.
You don't have layers and layers and layers and
I thought you were
layers.
going to tell me something really nice.
Well,
and
no,
good
well,
news.
it looks great, but it's actually sort of not layers of it. It's just a few layers of sort of lacquer. But they were expensive. I mean, it's the sort of thing that would have been produced in, very posh department stores like Harrods and Maples and the Army and Navy, and it was just the sort of shishi style. Very desirable then, and still desirable now. And people
That's
love
why
them.
we have it.
Oh no! Now you're going to tell me you don't want to sell it. Well, I better tell you what I think it's worth. That might tempt you. Might tempt you. I think we certainly should be looking around the £200 mark.
Well, that does surprise me because you know, basically it's a piece of wood with a light bulb in. But it goes beyond that because this is one of the first pieces my husband and I bought together as a couple.
Oh, OK.
You know, that makes it really difficult.
That does.
Yeah.
Sort of
Yeah.
good cause versus early memories. Have a think anyway.
OK, but don't hold your breath.
I'm not going to hold my breath. And I can see, secretly I can see why, because it's actually a really nice, useful bit of furniture.
It's used a lot.
But we're going to live in hope. Maybe we'll see it at the auction, maybe not. Well, while you're thinking about that, let's find something else for me to look at.
OK.
I've got a feeling that Toyah's not going to part with this lamp so easily. Meanwhile, I come across this violin, which, although slightly tarnished, will hopefully tug at the heartstrings of some bidder and raise at least £15. With the rummage drawing to an end, James has gone right to the top of the house and found a weighty box of nostalgia.
Look what I found. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Look, this takes me back to my student days.
That looks heavy.
It is heavy. Well, it's properly made. It's
Well, there you go, yes.
It's a proper
wow.
Pi record player.
That's fantastic,
I
isn't
used to
it?
have one of these. This is where you stack the records up, isn't it?
Dates you as well.
Well, it dates me because I used to put my favourite singles on and slow them down. So a single was a 45. Well, no, you slow it down to 33 and it becomes a much more interesting song.
sort of more
So that's why I love having a record player with a stylus and vinyl.
But it just seems to be in absolutely mint condition in this mahogany veneer case.
I learnt to dance thanks to this record player because I have my T-Rex singles and my Alice Cooper singles, my Roxy Music singles. I mean, they all previewed on this, so it's I'm very fond of it. It's probably why I became a singer.
Oh, well, that's great. And I mean, I would think this one dates probably to the late 60s, something like that. But also, Toyah, I did find
Let me see.
one of your records.
Yeah, one of the early
I
ones.
think I have this. Yes.
Yeah, 1980, that one.
Oh, great covers, very stylish.
Now, I did actually have a look on the inside, and your contribution is listed as vocals and unusual sounds.
Yes. Well, I was one of the kind of beginning artists that started to use the voice as an instrument rather than just a lyricist. And this was the punk era, so one could get away with murder when it came to sounds. And
I was there. I remember it well.
There's some experimental things going on that album.
Maybe you could sign that for us at the auction, and that would kind of
Yeah. If you think it will
That
help.
would help. It definitely would help.
So how much do you think we could get for this and this?
Well, I think, let's go meet. Let's put sort of, for the lot together, £50 to £80. And then I think the Toyah connection is going to push it on. Make lots more.
That's quite good. I would have thought less, so if we get that, that's fantastic.
Oh, Toyah, I think no doubt about it. A few years ago, much less, because nobody wanted these. But now it's part of that whole sort of retro thing. And I mean, I love the sound of frying bacon in the background on your old vinyl records with all those scratches. Anyway, you've made my day with this, I have to
Good.
say.
Well, let's get John in.
Really
John.
John, hello.
There you go. Do you remember this one? I'm sure you've got several copies of this.
Oh, I've got it on CD now, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we've had a great day and we spent far too much time chatting and not enough time valuing, but we did manage to get a lot of things done. And I know you're not sure about the standard lamp, but if we did put that in, we'd just about scrape our target. However, don't panic, because I think all these things are going to sell well. Without it, we make £345. So it's a bit under, but
Yeah, well,
on the day we could push through.
let's not underestimate the Toyah factor.
Never underestimate
I've really got a sparkle to get that up to 600 though, haven't I?
No pressure.
And maybe if you drag up as Toyah, we have the double Toyah factor.
Not
Now,
in
I'd
daytime.
pay you to do that.
That will be an interesting auction, won't it? So £600 is what Toyah's after, and with the rummage over, we're determined to get her there. Here are just some of Toyah and John's antiques that'll soon be heading under the hammer. The German Frister and Rossmann sewing machine with a £10 to £15 price tag. The pair of blue and white Delft vases in the Chinese style, valued between £30 and £50. The life-size cutout of Toyah as Calamity Jane, which will hopefully appeal to a fan with a spare £30 to spend, especially if Toyah auctions it herself. And as for Toyah's beloved standard lamp, the £200 it's worth will make all the difference, so fingers crossed she'll bring it along. Next on Cash in the Celebrity Attic, when Toyah's items go to auction, which sales will be the smash hits? And which will be the flops?
They got a bargain.
They got absolute
Find out which when the final hammer falls. So it's been almost 3 weeks since we were down in Toyah's beautiful house in Worcestershire, and we brought all the treasures we found here to Chiswick Auction Rooms here in West London. Now remember, everything that Toyah raises today she's donating to her favourite charity, so let's hope everything performs well under the hammer. That target is £600 for MacMillan cancer support, and the Toyah factor might even add a little more to that. I find James taking a look at his favourite among Toyah's items to be sold. Morning, James.
Hi, Alistair. How are you?
Our record player looks quite stately in amongst all this sort of high art, doesn't it?
It does. We're hoping for a record price. That's where we're going.
How do you think our things are going to do? Because we've got quite an eclectic range of items.
Quite a wide variety. We've got the wonderful Santini figures, and also, and this is the big factor, is whether, she brings that really nice standard lamp. Because that's actually quite a high value.
Do you know, I don't think she will, because she's very attached to things. So do you think we're going to make the £600?
I think we're going to make it because of the celebrity factor, the Toyah factor, so fingers crossed.
Let's go and find her. But none of us had reckoned on Toyah's celebrity factor being so determined to make up her target sum, as we were about to discover. There they are.
Hello.
Oh, you're not shopping, are you?
No, this is a bit of a surprise for you. You wanted me to bring the lamp.
Yes.
And I said no, my husband wants it. But my bestest friend in the world is a surrealist artist, PJ Crook. She's painted this especially for today.
Oh, so it's for us to sell?
Yeah.
Terrific.
Oh, that's
And
wonderful.
the fantastic thing is, people collect her from around the world, so I'm hoping that there's a lot of telephone bids in today.
Because that's the same as a lot of the pictures you've got in your house.
Yes, and she's done the most beautiful thing, and she signed the back to say it's specifically for the auction today.
Well, I have to say, I think that is more than a fair trade. Wonderful.
I think this is going to get so much more than that lamp.
Fantastic.
I'm excited. The pressure's off slightly because we're
not disappointed by that.
that's going to be wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay,
well-
well, let's go and take our places because it's all about to start.
Oh, right, okay.
I know. Let's raise some money.
Thank you, PJ, that is brilliant.
Yeah, star vote.
Thank you, PJ, indeed. As a late entry in the auction, her painting has been allocated a slot further down the sale list, so we won't know the outcome till near the end. If you're planning on buying or selling like this, you should check with your local sale room how much commission and possible other fees you'll be charged. First up for sale, the Santini figures. Because there's 11 of them.
Yeah, I'm actually slightly surprised that the auctioneers haven't broken them up into smaller lots. An estimate of 150, 250 pounds. So that's, whatever, there's terrible maths, 12, 13 quid a piece. It's not a lot, is it?
Well, we just have to hope there are people online or people who've left bids.
Start me what? £100? £50 for a lot, please. You want to go 50? I'm bid at £50 and goes up to £50, take 55. At £50, take 55, 60, 5, 70, 5, 80,
2 in the room. It's good.
90, 5, and £90, bid at £90, 95, bid at 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 130, 140 there. Bid it again, 150.
Oh, great.
Thinking about it, 150, 160, 170. Yes or no? £160. Stand a bit at 160 without 160 and going for 160. Your last chance at 160, all done at 160.
That was the last. Okay.
So it was within estimate. Within estimate. Could have gone on a bit.
Well, they kept us on the edge of our seats, but still it's a fine start, right on estimate. Our next lot, the coach lamps rescued from Toyah's garden shed, also do well,
Give it £18 then, short and sweet, 18.
fetching above their £10 estimate.
That's good, that's
Better than we hoped. The gold-rimmed liqueur glasses, valued between £10 and £15, also cause a stir.
£12, all done. For £12, you'll be sold at £12 and gone.
Hopefully we can keep up this pace with our next lot. It's the Pi Black Box record player that helped Toyah learn how to sing and dance along with one of her signed albums. Dated around 1965, will the record player be too old-fashioned to attract any bidders?
I hope that the record player does well, because they must be an oddity. They must be quite rare these days, and that is in really good shape.
The record player, estimate 50 to 80. Toyah signing her record. Priceless.
50p.
Priceless. We shall see.
Where should we start? £20 for it, so here we go, £20. £10. A bit of 10,
Don't
take
let
12
us
without
down.
10, 12 with a 12, 15. 18, 20, 22, 20, a bid take 2 at £20. That's a bid at £20, take 2. It's worth more than this. At £20, take 2 for the lot at £20. That's a bid so far at £20. Without £20 then, without £20, that's the last bid I've got at £20 then. Your bid.
Oh, that was
Cheap. Bargain.
They got an absolute bargain on that. I think there must be a bunch of old fuddy-duddies here.
That was a disappointing sale, no doubt about it. Collectors of vintage gramophones are thin on the ground today. But no time to grumble. Our next lot, the Royal Dalton figurine entitled Isabel, valued between £20 and £40, brings us back on track.
Selling at £35, large chance and gone. 35.
It wasn't quite the royal price for Royal Dalton we wanted, but it was within estimate.
Yeah.
There's just one item left before we call time on this first part of the sale.
Got number 80A now. A walnut case American shelf clock, number 80A.
£10 to £15. It's not a lot of money, so it's got to sell within that or more.
Well, hopefully there's someone in here who loves clocks.
Exactly, it's a restorer's lot.
Yeah.
It is. Needs a bit of work, bit of TLC.
£10. £10 for it, must be £10. I'm at £10 or pass. I'm at 10, I'll give me 12 at £10. I'll give me 12 at £10, 12 at 12. Thank you. 15, 18, 20, 2, 20, bid take to £20. You're bid at £20, you're out at £20 all done.
That's brilliant.
That's really good. I'm pleased.
Double lower end of the estimate.
That's really good. These little items, they're small, they kind of double the value, it's great.
Someone could see the potential in this charming American timepiece. Just needs a little attention to restore it to its former glory. And we've clocked up another £20. Time now for me to tot up the halfway totals.
Whew, well, there we are. The first, it is a bit up and down.
Very up and down,
Some
yeah.
things sell really well, some things don't sell so well. And I'm actually quite pleased because although we didn't quite make the £300, which would be halfway, we made 265.
Okay.
That's good. Which I think, actually, considering that most of our really good items are in the second half.
Yeah.
Because let's remember, we've still got our secret weapon in the second half. That's the PJ Crux. So that's what we're really looking forward
Now, I
to.
reckon we've got quite a little gap now. So go off and wonder. Don't bid for anything. I don't want you buying any of your ladies back.
No, well, I'm going to go off and have another look at that little gem of a
Absolutely.
picture.
Let's go and get some tea.
As Toyah and John take a break before the second part of the auction begins, I join James for a closer look at the gorgeous painting that Toyah's brought along in place of her lamp. This allegorical image represents an antidote to our troubled world. All creatures live together in harmony, and the angel pays homage to MacMillan nurses.
So this is it. Gosh, it's tiny.
It is very wee, isn't it?
It's so amazing because she paints all over the frame.
One of her trademarks actually is incorporating the frame into the picture.
Oh, look, she's written, painted to be auctioned for MacMillan Nurses Cancer Support on BBC One Cash in the Attic, especially for us.
Her pictures, even of this size, are still going to be worth upwards north of £1,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, the question is, have we got enough interest around the world? Because you say there's the market in America, but we're in West London.
I think they are. Well, the thing with these pictures is that they can, with the internet now, you can flick it up anywhere. So I'm hoping we're going to have a lot of interest in this.
We better go and find out whether there's lots of phone bids.
I can't wait to see how much interest the painting attracts when it goes under the hammer. In the meantime, though, we're back in the saddle. Yee-haw! Look what's coming up next. We're hoping for at least £30, but can Toyah raise even more?
Quite excited about this one. This is you. You're selling yourself.
Well, I could be in for a big fall here. But what if it doesn't sell?
No, listen, as an auctioneer, I'm telling you, Toyah, you have got what it takes to get up there and knock them dead.
Okay.
Well, I've got 328 coming up now. It's the cardboard cutout, isn't it? Can we have a look at that, please, when it comes through? Well, the real person who can't auctioneer it, come on then. Be different, won't it?
I'm selling myself this afternoon. It's a very rare cardboard cutout promoting Calamity Jane. And the proceeds are going to charity, so I'm plucking on your heartstrings here. So shall we start the bidding at £5? Anyone interested?
Worth more than that.
Well, I mean, no one's bidding at £5. Hands up, anyone? OK, you, sir, £5. Can we go to £10? There's a hand hiding behind the cardboard cutout. That's £10. Anyone at £15? £15. I will sign this and put my phone number on it. Are you bidding? OK, that's £25. Can I interest anybody at £30, please? Are you putting your hand up, madam? Oh, you wonderful person, you. The man hiding behind the cardboard cutout, that's £35. Can I stretch anyone to 40
playing the
pounds?
role
40
very
pounds
well.
over there, 40 pounds. 45 pounds, anybody? 45. 45 pounds over there. 50 pounds, 50 pounds. Anybody? 55, 50, 50. It's going to 50 to the man hiding behind the cardboard cutout. Thank you, sir.
Well done. Toyah, you're worth every penny. I'm worried to get the job.
The Toyah factor really came into its own there, as the sale was certainly no calamity.
I think that was a sympathy buy. I'm just so relieved. Imagine if I was selling myself and I only went for a £5.
After all that excitement, we catch our breaths for our next item to take centre stage.
Well, they've rather poshly called this a silver-plated bronze goblet. 10 to 15 pounds, so we haven't got great expectations on this, but a few bids would help.
What should we do? £50 for it? £10 for it? I'm going at 10, it'll be 12 at £10, take 12 at £10, it'll be 12 at £10. 12 minute 12, 15, 18, 20, 22,
We're over the
25, 28, 30, 32, 35, 38, 35, back to you at £35, you're at 38, at 38, 40, 42, 45, 48. Do you want at £45, you're out at £45, who else wants to come in at £45? I'm saying at £45, your last chance it goes.
That's a real result too.
It's the Toyah factor.
It is.
Everyone wants to own a bit of you.
Surprises often come where you least expect them at auctions, and this unassuming little goblet is a case in point. Our next item, the violin that's seen better days, wasn't such a good result.
Boys waving at £10, you'll be 12 at £10, right 10, sold at £10.
Despite a poor sale, let's hope this fine fiddle will be put to good use in its new home. We've made £370 so far, so we really need our 3 remaining lots to reach the top of their estimates if we're going to hit our £600 target for MacMillan cancer support. £30 is the estimate on our next item.
I like these 30 to 50 pounds. I really hope they're going to go on and do better.
Exactly, they're very Earth Mother.
Start with £50, here we go. £50? No, but it's £50 then. I'm bid at £50, take 55, £50. If it's 55, 60.
We start at the top. That's probably a nice place to start, isn't it?
55, 70, 5, 80, 5.
Nodding, that's good.
Don't draw in blood, isn't it? 85, 90, 5. My God. 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, and 10, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, and 20 now. 340, 350. Thanks to the bidder. £340 bidder, £340. Who else wants to come in? Thank you, a new bidder. 350, 360, 370, 380.
They're going to make very posh lamps in the
No, the bid's now in the room at £380. I'm selling at £380. We've done at 380, all done. Your last chance we've got a bid at £380, all done then.
That was a result, wasn't it? Fantastic.
That's amazing.
Why?
Just what the doctor ordered. In one fell swoop, we've doubled our takings so far.
Funnily enough, the auctioneers were quite specific because they catalogued them as Delft, in other words, European earthenware, copying Chinese vases. Now, although that wouldn't make them as good quality as the Chinese vases, it makes them a lot rarer. And I think that's the reason why they went on. Also, they were great, terrific shape, very tactile. And even though they were damaged at the top, hey, that hasn't put off 2 people. So, over 300 quid, I think we're all happy.
With just 2 lots left, our next item brought us right back down to earth, and sadly didn't even get out of the starting blocks.
I see a bid of £5, something, no bids of £5 for a sewing machine. No needs £5, no bids. No offers of £5, pass on lot.
There's going to be some more sewing done.
I'm afraid no one wanted to get stitched up on that one at all.
It's all eyes now on our last lot of the day. It's a cash in the attic first, a painting created especially for sale in the auction.
This is the most exciting lot. PJ Crook, You say up north of 1,000, so...
Well, we've got an estimate of 600 to 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, I'd be very disappointed if it didn't get more.
I'd love to own it myself, and I always use that as a
Yeah, I
real
would
judge
too.
about
Start me £400, here it goes, please. £400 for it. I'm bid at £400, I'll take 20 at £400, give me 20 now. £400, 420, 440, 460, 480, 500, and 20, 550, 580, 600, and 20, 650, 680, and 700, and 20, 750, 780, 800. No, that's £780. In the room, 800 new bidder. 820,
New bidder, new
Yes.
850, 880, 900, and 20, and £900. That's £900. Take 20 and £900. Are we done for 920 new bidder? 950, 980. Nearly had it. 980, £1,000.
Wow.
1,100.
Oh, brilliant.
1,050 for helps. No, £1,000. The standard bid is £1,000. Are we done for £1,000 in last charge? For £1,000 all done?
Oh, well done.
That's good. That's good.
Gosh, 1 out of 1,000 pounds. That's tremendous.
It is. Much as I loved your standard lamp, I think we got a better deal on it.
What a truly fantastic way to end the day. After that exciting bidding frenzy for this gorgeous painting, I now have the very pleasant task of totting up today's totals.
Wow, what a day. I'm still slightly giggling from your turn up on the rostrum. It was so brilliant. And it really did us proud because we have excelled ourselves today, or you have, and the room has, because we wanted £600. And I have to say, at the beginning of the auction, I was a bit nervous that we weren't going to make it. But your painting, the PJ Crook, totally saved us, £1,000. That was like a gift from God. And then everything else, we did exceptionally well. We've made £1,750. And it's great because that's all going to MacMillan Cancer Support.
And Alistair, we've had great fun on the
I
way.
know, it's been fabulous, hilarious,
Thank
very
you all
memorable.
round.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
We've raised 3 times more money than we were hoping to raise, which is absolutely fantastic. We think we've raised enough for a nurse for a month. It's beyond our expectations.
One of the many beneficiaries of the MacMillan Cancer Support Charity is Alison Morton from Liverpool.
When they first told me I had breast cancer, I walked out in shock. I felt like I was in some surreal world, that I was looking at myself, and I haven't really lost that feeling yet.
But Alison found the MacMillan nurses a source of great support. Now, thankfully in remission, Alison is determined to lead a full life, but she hasn't forgotten what the MacMillan nurses did for her.
It's important to have the MacMillan because more and more people will get diagnosed with cancer. Unfortunately, it's on the up and up. They've just been absolutely fantastic. I don't know what I would have done without them.
Cancer patients like Alison will reap the benefits thanks to donations such as Toyah's £1,750.
I breathe a huge sigh of relief. I'd have felt terrible if we hadn't raised even 600. So it's been a magnificent day.